Hello everybody and welcome to another Armchair review. Today's subject is going to be Combiner Wars First Aid. Going to jump right here and have a quick look at the guy. I have to say, I don't own the off-road version of this mold, but from what I've seen of First Aid here, I think I'm going to like it. He's a nice little bot. I mean, yeah, got some kibble on the back here and the back of his legs as well. In fairness, the kibble on the back of his legs just helps him stand up a bit better. You know, it's more like a constantly there built-in heel spur. I'm not particularly fussed by kibble. You know, it doesn't get in the way, and this kind of gives him that. I don't know. It kind of adds a little something to him that might not have been there if it was just his head. You can kind of display it a little differently if you wish and bring it in a bit, but I like it the way the instructions say. So here you go. Give you a bit of a zoomed in a look on him here. So that head sculpt, again, absolutely love that head sculpt. It's a delightful little thing. If I'm trying to get it, you can just about make it out. He does look like he's got a bit of a grin behind a gonzo nose on his faceplate here, and I kind of like that though. I think it gives him a little bit of a personality. But yeah, moving down here, you've got the only thing I would complain about with this, and I suspect this is going to be the same with the off-road mold, a version of this mold, is these shoulder plates do get in the way a little bit with articulation, moving him around. If you've got his arm out and then you go to put it up, you've got to kind of swing this piece around the wheel and stuff. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it you know, if you're looking to pose him, there are some poses that he's just not quite going to get into because of this. Again, not the end of the world, but you know, I do like the fact that his elbow joints are soft ratcheted here, and he can hold his stuff in place, which is good because I don't use the weapon he comes with. I've stolen Rook's. As anybody who saw yesterday's video knows, I stole Rook's claw thing and gave it to him because it looks a bit more like it might be a medical tool, or definitely a lot more than a medical tool than this, as I'm sure there are other YouTubers out there pointing out. This is an axe. I don't know many medical procedures that are done using an axe. Mind you, I will say this: it's a very nicely done axe. If they picked out those little details on the blade there and any circuitry, little bits and pieces, it might have looked even nicer. But I kind of like that silver blade on the axe there. Anyway, that's his axe. I'll give that to somebody else when I decide somebody else needs a melee weapon. But yeah, anyway, moving on from that, like I said, I love this head, and the chest sculpt is nice. I like that they've picked out this silver piece here. It looks nice. Something they perhaps should have done on a couple of other bots over the years. Just picked out these little intricate integrated details in there. Would have made them a lot nicer figures for their time. But yeah, moving on down here, his shins are quite nice. I mean, they're plain. There's nothing much going on there, but you know, I think he looks nice. His transformation is pretty simple and very indicative of a lot of the Combiner Wars figures, because he uses this. If I can get his knees out of the pegs at the front, he uses this split leg and then fold concertina his legs down into, there we are, into the rest of them. Gimmick. I mean, that's nice enough, you know. It's not something I'd seen before Combiner Wars, and though now since Combiner Wars, I think all of the planes. I haven't got the last plane yet. I haven't, but yeah, all the planes I've had, and Alpha Bravo use this. So yeah, a good majority of the ones I've got so far. My only issue that I had with this guy transforming him was, try to get in here so you can see it. This clip just in here, you can see there's a little bit of like excess plastic on each side of it, and that's after I've filed some of it down, and that makes it difficult to plug into this port down here. I'm trying to get the angle right. It makes it a little bit more difficult to get in there. You can get it in, and like I say, I have picked off some of the plastic off there to try to get it to fit in a bit more easily, but even then it still requires a little bit more force than might normally be required to put something like that together. That said, though, once it's in there, it is in there. Like I said. Anyway, so yeah, transformation's pretty simple. I'll show you on this side. The only thing you need to really remember is when you're transforming them, to get this arm in exactly the right place, because there is a peg just there and a hole on the inside of the arm, and you just got to get those to line up before you can do much else. Drop him at the shoulder here, and everything kind of just slides in. Same on both sides, obviously. And if you try to remember to, because I just forgot to, there's these two clips at the bottom here, and when you bring your arms down, make sure that they, you can see this one better, just flip over that, and that just holds everything in there. And then you just take the roof and bring it down. Do it on camera, that's helpful. And yeah, just make sure everything's clipped together. As you see, I've managed to do it correctly. There you go, that's better. And yeah, now like I said, this vehicle mode, I like it. I really do. I like this van. I know they're using this. Are they using this one? I think they're using the off-road version of this, which is just the same but without this back section here. It's a flatbed version of this. I think they're using that mold to do the Ironhide mold, which I'm definitely getting because I want a nicer Ironhide. The one I've got is the Classics Ironhide, and I'm not a big fan of that, being honest with you. But yeah, I think he's very nice. I mean, the silver grille there and all this at the front is picked out really nicely. Again, the back leaves something to be desired, but I'm sure we're going to get some repro labels for some of these figures at some point, and they will definitely help. Yeah, I like the fact that it's all very well put together. It holds together nicely, and like I said, it's got that slightly angular, slightly Cybertronian feel to what is essentially just an, a van or a truck. And yeah, now he, much like Rook, which I hadn't realized until earlier today, his foot is unique, or slightly unique, in that if you can see between these two fingers, there is a small gap, and there is a peg on the top of there, and you can take that small gap, and you can peg the foot. I like to fold that out because it looks silly otherwise. And yeah, so now you have an ambulance of some sort with cannon, laser blaster sort of things on the top. Why not? All of these combine the feet and hands. I mean, I think they work all right as hands. I have no complaint with them as hands, but they don't really work too well as feet. I mean, that's just too small as a foot. That's just far too small. That said, I may try and put something together because I don't want to spend £25 plus on a set of hands and feet. because I just don't think that's a very good value for money. He does like to play peekaboo, by the way, underneath. but yeah, let me just there we are. That's me. So yeah, that's first aid. And I have to say, I really am liking these combiner wars. I know not everybody is. There's a lot of people who don't like these, and that's fair enough. They're not necessarily for everybody. I'm not somebody who can afford to buy third-party figures all the time and stuff. And a lot of the time, I'm finding myself, now I'm looking back at things, I find myself disappointed in third-party stuff for the price that you pay for it. Whereas this costs 15 quid. Well, 16 quid. And I have no issue with it. I think it's perfectly good for that price range. If I was to, scale up the quality of this to match a third-party figure, and it had the same quality control on this as, and the same improved quality of engineering over that time and over that price point, I'd have absolutely no problem with this. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's just me. I am an opinionated little git. I've been told many a time. But yeah, yeah, I don't have much else to say about that. So yeah, that's First Aid. I will be doing more reviews as and when I get more figures. I have a few more to do. So thank you very much for watching, and if you like what you see here, something I haven't done, I forgot to do this before. If you like what you see here, please whack the subscribe button wherever that is on the bottom down here. I can never remember. I think from my point of view, I think it's there. If it's down there, subscribe. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again. Bye bye.